And we're back. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Rollsicle. I'm one of the hosts here at the channel. My name's Nathaniel, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Ashley. Say hi.
Hi.
There she is. We're back with another deck unboxing. We are doing Slivers Swarm. So if you guys don't know, we've been working through the Commander Masters ones. Woo! We've done Planeswalker Party and Enduring Enchantments. Now we're on Slivers Swarm, and next will be Eldrazi. And until Lorwyn Eclipsed, that will be all of the Commander deck unboxings we have.
Insane.
So we're recording this in October. You guys are seeing this in December. So it's been a little bit. Hello, us from the future. I hope we're doing great. But yeah, so we are sad to see our unboxings be done. For so long, I had like 20 Commander decks to unbox, but I'm glad that we are getting to them, getting them played, getting to go through our tournament, all that sort of thing. So these ones were bought by me, for me, back when I graduated with my bachelor's degree as a bit of a celebration, and I'm super excited to finally be opening them. Sliver Gravemother, I know, is a very powerful Sliver card. Now, this deck has seen some hate online for how slow the mana base is, so it just doesn't do anything when it gets played. Oop, did not mean to drop it. We will see if that's true. That being said, I'm definitely open to the idea of building it, upgrading it. We will see if it earns that slot. But we will get into what the card does exactly in just a second. We are going to read the back of it, but before I do that, I do want to say, if you guys haven't already, we'd love to have you join the channel, subscribe, any and all of it's greatly appreciated. If you end up liking the video, give it a like, comment down below, we'll ask you a question at the end, and yeah, we'd love to have you just join our community. So let's take a look at it. Sliver, Hive, Rise Up. Take your Commander game to the next level with these high-powered decks. Be aggressive and overrun the field with the 5-color Sliver Gravemother and her endless undead Hive. Gain momentum with early game attacks until you can resurrect the full power of her swarm directly from your graveyard. Ooh. Sliver Gravemother, known for their veracity, vast numbers and linked consciousness. Slivers are formidable foes when swarmed together. From the depths of the unknown plane, Sliver Gravemother united her hive to overtake both the land and the limits of death itself.
Interesting.
It is interesting. All right, let's break into this penultimate deck unboxing for a while. Are you excited?
Yes.
Some of them just come apart way easier than others. Wild.
Trash.
Hive minds, everyone's thinking about them.
Stop.
Not as good as the last one?
No.
The last one made us think of Taylor Swift, so.
What?
How could it possibly compare? Didn't throw that at you this time. I'm slacking.
Shocking.
I'll throw this one at you, though. So a bunch of cardboard that if you need, you need. If you don't, you don't. Throw it at your fiancés. They will throw it on the floor eventually. Are you okay, darling?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Ha! Terrible. I'm going to cry next time.
Oh, please don't. All right, little piece of spacer.
That's on my sleeves.
We have a life dial in case you need a way to track it. If you have a phone, you can use Companion. If you don't want to, though, there you go. There's a life tracker. The lore that we will get into, because I do like reading those for the deck. The deck itself, which we will get to in a little bit as well. The coveted Collector Booster Sample Pack, but you can get good stuff. We've done that. You can get bad stuff. We've also done that. So you never know. Set that off to the side. And then last but not least, the real value in the box here, about $20, maybe $30 value right here, is the box that it comes in. Jokes aside, it is really nice to have a picture and then like the mana symbols so that if you do have a couple of these, you know which one's which when you set them off on your shelf. And I appreciate that they didn't have to include a deck box, and if they did, they didn't have to include one that fits it sleeved, which is really nice. So, a little bit of a shout out that they do put some effort in.
Not a lot of a shout out, but a little.
A little bit. Little bit.
They do a haul that we like right now, but.
No, but at least they give you a box to store the deck in. That's true. They've always done that. But that's playing the deck. I want the lore first.
No.
There's our picture for the Sliver Gravemother, which is awesome. I know that at the Slivers was already super popular, but the Gravemother was a exclusive card to this deck and to like collector boosters. So
okay, complaint. I don't like this deck box.
She doesn't like the.
Why is it like this? Why is it not like this?
Oh.
I can't.
Oh, because you're saying it makes it look like it's gruel.
Yes.
That makes sense.
All I see is green and red.
That makes sense.
Sorry.
I mean, it's literally, I don't know if you can see it right now, but it's horizontal right here on top of it. Yeah, that is a little annoying. All right, Sliver Gravemother.
On this one too.
Slivers
This
have
was the
evolved.
14.
I assume they did that for Planeswalker then as well. Slivers have evolved to conquer every situation they encounter, and now with the power of the Sliver Gravemother, they evolve even beyond death. The Planeswalker Volrath is known for bringing Slivers to Wrath and subsequently Dominaria, but the true origins, the extent that Slivers have spread across the multiverse, is still a mystery. On a plane whose name has been buried under their numbers, the merciless hive, led by the Gravemother, has become the ultimate predator, defeating even death itself. Eons ago, Slivers were utilized as beasts of burden by the other sentient species on this plane. Domesticated for their ability to adapt, many empires were built upon their service, but deep beneath the surface, in caverns that ran along every continent, a queen bid her time. As above, so too below were empires birthed and torn down. Only those epochal cycles were orchestrated by the patient queen, a vast and unknowable mind seeking alien perfection. Each generation of Slivers grew stronger than the last until this queen, the Gravemother, finally completed the ultimate evolution to conquer death. In a single night, kingdoms were reduced to rubble as their former servants were joined by the Gravemother's hardened brood. No trace of the plane was spared. The Slivers razed villages and castles alike. Landslides buried the plains as mountains were torn apart by the Slivers bursting from the vast burial calderas hidden beneath the ground. Countless armies were crushed beneath the stampede of Slivers, awoken by the sound of their encampments and comrades being torn to shreds by the living dead. Now, no living thing exists on that plane except what the Gravemother permits, empires reduced to cattle for her hive to feast upon when the time calls for it.
Wow.
That's intense.
That's a bit intense.
So let's look at playing the deck. So it says, Slivers return on the back of a powerful new legendary Sliver, which of course is a big reason for people buying this deck, is they just want the new Sliver, the Sliver Gravemother, because a lot of people already had Rainbow Sliver decks. This mighty swarm of symbiotic life forms shares a hive mind and strengthens each other every time you play another of their kind. Assemble powerful combinations of Slivers and craft the perfect life form to attack your opponents. Slivers are predominantly assertive, but Sliver Gravemother will help you swarm the board later in the game. Your game plan is to play aggressive early, build up momentum, and unleash the hive on your opponent so you don't lose the upper hand. Save your commander for the right moment so you can use Sliver Gravemother's ability to give your Slivers encore and bring back your swarm to create powerful turns.
Interesting.
Yep, buddy. Alright, so let's take a look at what it does. Opening the deck. Gonna see what the deck does today. First thing we're gonna do is take a look at the tokens we might be making. Then we will break into the thick cardboard commander card. We have a Sliver army, a copy. Hey, it went all the way. That was nice. We have the Monarch, a sliver, and a sliver.
So we're gonna make two types of two things.
They're like, well, and there's this one. There's the Sliver army.
Wow.
So there's 3. And the Monarch. We could get the Monarch. All right, so let's take a look at what the Sliver Gravemother actually does. This is a bad one to look at. We're gonna.
Yeah,
there you go. There's the thick one.
I don't even use my thick cardboard one. I have a thick cardboard one.
There we go. Let's take a look at the Sliver Gravemother actually.
Woo!
So of course she is gonna cost us a Wooburg 6/6. Notably, the Legend rule doesn't apply to Slivers you control.
Love it.
Each Sliver creature card in your graveyard has Encore X, where X is its mana value. And then this has Encore 5. Now, what does Encore mean? It says, pay this, exile it from your graveyard. For each opponent, create a token copy that attacks that opponent this turn. If able, they gain haste. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. Activate only as a sorcery.
Bring them back, attack with them, they go away.
Mm-hmm. But you get a copy for each opponent. Very powerful. I do think that there are other Slivers that might be the better Wooburg Sliver Commander. Notably, there is one called the First Sliver that is not even... Oh, we're in gray sleeves.
We're in gray for her.
For her. And then gold for the deck. But anyways, there's the kind of goldish yellow. But anyways, there is a Sliver that is probably the better Wooburg Sliver Commander called the First Sliver, which was not reprinted in this deck. Notably. And a lot of people were miffed about that. However, they gonna
have a whole lot of Slivers.
She is a great include in a First Sliver deck, so
Can I guess
still
where
good to
the
have.
lands are gonna end?
Yeah, sure. My guess is right here.
My guess is...
I mean, it's 5 color, remember.
I know.
It's basics.
Right there.
You think there's that many basics?
I don't know.
Okay, so shoop. Okay, that's mine. And I was perfect. On the money. On the money. What's wrong? So it looks like we're getting, what, like 2 of each?
White,
Yeah, so
blue,
2,
black,
2,
red,
2,
green.
and 3 forests for all our rampy needs.
Hey.
There you go.
Thanks.
Be careful with them.
Snatch.
All right, so a lot of lands here.
Yep.
Unclaimed territory, choose a creature type, tap for that
Woo!
color. If it's a creature, secluded, courtyard does a similar thing, but yeah, really does mostly a similar thing. You can also activate abilities. Then we have a Seaside Citadel for our... Yeah, see, so it's a lot of cards like this that give you multiple colors, but they enter tapped. So you're just playing like one turn behind everyone else at the table, is what a lot of people complained about. Savage Lands, Sandstep Citadel, Rocky Tar Pit. What is this? Enters tapped. You can tap sack it to search your library for a swamp or mountain card. Wait, what? Oh, enters tapped. Okay, I was like, did they just throw a fetch land in here? But it's an enters tapped fetch land. So, I mean, sure. Opulent Palace is the Sultai one. We are going to get all of them. Yep, there's the Mardu one. So, wait. No, there should be 10. That's only 5 of them. So.
There are 3 colors, see?
There's 10 combinations of 3 colors.
There are?
Mm-hmm. There's all 5 in Dragonstorm, and then there's... We talked about this before. There's the 5 from Dragonstorm, and then there's Bant, Esper,
You're right, no mind. Continue.
Grixis.
Continue.
What else is I don't remember them off the top of my head. Anyways, this is a 6th one. So we might get all of them in here. Mystic Monastery. This is a sack to go get a mountain or forest, but of course enters tapped. So again, I've not seen these enters tapped fetch lands before, I don't think. That's a really interesting card.
It is.
Jungle Shrine is Naya. That's one of the other 4, or that's one of the other 5. So that's 4 now. I don't know which one we were missing. Enters tapped, but go get a green or a white. Temur is one of the ones from Dragonstorm. Ooh. I don't know. We might have missed it. All right, Windfall. Each player discards their hand, then draws cards equal to the greatest number of cards discarded this way. Shifting Sliver is a 4-mana 2/2 that says Slivers can't be blocked except by Slivers, so all your Slivers get through, which is pretty cool. Slivers do a lot of all Slivers get this type of ability. That's what Slivers do. So.
We only got 8.
Huh. We might see the other 2 later on.
Yes.
Distant Melody, of course, is choose creature type, draw a card for each permanent you control of that type, which is pretty cool. Distant Melody.
Yep.
It's a good card. I like Distant Melody. I don't know if it ended up in Sidar or if I cut it for other card draw for that deck, but... Diffusion Sliver, 1 and a blue, 1/1. Whenever a Sliver creature you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter it unless. So it basically gives them a ward 2. Sinew Sliver, 1 and a white, 1/1. All Slivers get +1/+1. So a nice Sliver Lord right there. Sentinel Sliver, 1 white. Sliver creatures you control have Vigilance. So all your Slivers get Vigilance. Constricting Sliver, 5 and a white creature. Sliver creatures you can... 3/3. I haven't been reading the side of these ones. 3/3. Sliver creatures you control have... When this creature enters the battlefield, you may exile target creature an opponent controls until this creature leaves the battlefield. Pretty cool. So all your Slivers become sort of banishing light effects. Path of Ancestry is good for this deck. That's a very good card for this deck because we'll be casting a lot of Slivers. Command Tower, notably pretty early on in this deck compared to the other Commander Master ones. Ash Barrens is decent. Lets us go get a basic that we need. We have Soul Ring, of course. Felwar Storm is actually going to be very useful because, again, we can utilize any color that sucker can tap for. Arcane Signet is, of course, basically the best signet. Sunken Hollow here enters tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands, which might be tough because we don't have a ton of basics. I don't necessarily love that include, but Spoiler Marsh enters unless you have 2 or more basic lands. They are the land types, though, which might be why that they are included in the deck.
Probably.
We do have the Cycling. Yeah, every land I'm seeing basically enters tapped. You really are just going to be like a turn behind everybody.
Yeah.
That's tough. But is upgradable, right? Like, it's a Wooburg deck, so you want all the trial lands, all the shock lands. Like, this deck could easily get to $800 just upgrading the land base.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you could get way past that if you throw in the original dual lands, but you don't have to do that. If you do that, you don't run the shock lands, by the way. Scattered Groves, is the cycle, but for Celestia. 2 or more basics, but for Azorius. Cycling, but for Azorius. Exotic Orchard, not bad. Definitely going to be a useful land here. 2 or more, but for Gruul. 2 or more, but for Celestia. A Vanquisher's Banner, which I do think is a good card. I just notably feel like this works way better if you have cheap things to cast, because I had one in Sidar, and I don't know if I've actually taken it out yet, but I think if I haven't, I'm going to take it out, just because you really want to be triggering this when you have, like, cheap spells that you're casting, because then you're drawing, like, you cast, like, a 2-mana Goblin, then you draw again. Then you cast, like, a 1-mana Goblin, then you draw again. Rather than I spend, like, 5... It's really bad on Sidar.
Your deck is because you're not casting.
Is because you really don't cast a lot of the knights either, yeah. Icon of Ancestry is fine. You know, choose a creature type, buffs them, and then you can kind of look for some of them with that activated ability. Sliver Hive Lord is a alternate commander you can run here. I actually don't know if this one's any worse. Sliver Hive Lord's pretty good. Wooburg, 5/5, Sliver creatures you control have indestructible. It's really just like...
Yeah.
Pretty solid, I'm not going to lie. I do think the first Sliver is probably the best one, like I said, and I don't think this deck reprinted that. But if I were to build this deck, I'd probably run that card. Decimate, 2 and a Gruul. Destroy target artifact, target creature, target enchantment, and target land. Yes, you have to have a target for all of those. Cloud Shredder Sliver. This is a Boros 1/1 Sliver creatures you control have flying and haste, which is awesome. Just give them all evasion, why don't you? Realm Walker, 2 and a green Shapeshifter, enters as the chosen creature type. When it enters, choose a creature type. You may look at the top card of your library anytime and may cast creature spells of the chosen type from the top. That's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
So it enters as a Sliver, lets you cast Slivers off the top. Not magnetic. Megantic Sliver. 6 mana, 3/3 Sliver that gives your other Slivers +3/+3 is pretty huge.
That is.
Brood Sliver, 4 and a green Sliver 3/3. Whenever a Sliver deals combat damage to a player, its controller may create a 1/1 colorless Sliver creature token. So make a bunch of little Slivers. Spiteful Sliver, 2 and a red Sliver 2/2. Sliver creatures you control have whenever this creature is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target player or planeswalker. That's pretty solid as well. Sorry. Can you imagine Spiteful Sliver on the battlefield and then somebody casts Blasphemous Act?
Woo.
And now all of your Slivers take 13 damage, so you can do that to any player or planeswalker. You just win. You could cast it yourself.
I just win.
There's no reason to do that, I don't think. But you could. You could throw a Blasphemous Act in here and then...
It'd be fun. That's why you do it.
Siphon Sliver. 2 and a black, 2/2 Sliver. Sliver creatures you control have lifelink.
That's fun.
Crippling Fear. 2 and 2 black. Choose a creature type. Creatures that aren't of the chosen type get -3/-3. This is kind of a miniature one-sided board wipe for typal decks. The good thing is that, like, in knights, there's actually a pretty good likelihood somebody else at the battlefield has something that happens to be a knight.
Yep.
Or, like, elves. Someone might happen to have elves. People are not very likely to have Slivers unless they're running a Sliver deck. Synapse Sliver, 4 and a blue 3/3. Whenever a Sliver deals combat damage to a player, its controller may draw a card. That's that enduring Curiosity Sliver, essentially. Gale Rider Sliver, 1 blue Sliver creatures you control have flying. Sure. See, that one's tough to drop for 1 blue early on because of the mana base of this deck.
Sure.
Harsh Mercy. In fact, you literally can't, because none of your stuff that taps for blue, unless you happen to have the island out the gate, is going to enter untapped. Harsh Mercy, 2 and a white. Each player chooses a creature type. Destroy all creatures that aren't of the type chosen this way. So, again, that's a really cheap one, too. That's 3 mana.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Cleansing Nova, 3 and 2 white. Destroy all creatures or destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Interesting board wipe right there. But hey, you know, maybe you just build your mana base, then board wipe, then play out your board.
Yeah.
Bone Scythe Sliver, 3 and a white. Sliver creatures you control have double strike. Sure. By the way, that will work with the card draw one as doing damage to a player again, so you can draw 2 cards.
Love it.
Hatchery Sliver, 1 and a green. Replicate, 1 and a green. Each Sliver spell you control has Replicate, which is equal to its mana cost, which, by the way, Replicate says when you cast a spell, copy it for each time you paid its Replicate cost. Which is really interesting. The Sliver Greymother saying the legend rule doesn't apply to Slivers you control doesn't come up a lot, right? Like,
no, I'm not saying a lot of legendaries.
Having Replicate, and honestly, you don't really want to replicate her.
No.
You don't really want to replicate the one that gives them indestructible, because those things apply anyways, right?
Yeah,
like,
they're already on everything.
Yeah. For the ancestors, 2 and a green. Instant. Choose a creature type. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal any number of cards of the chosen type from among them. Put the reveal cards into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library. Cool. So that just lets you go get a bunch of slivers. Descendant's Fury, 3 and a red. Enchantment. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you may sack one of them. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card that shares a creature type with it. Put that card onto the battlefield. That's pretty cool because you could sack the things that come back from the Encore,
Yes.
which are going to have to get sacked anyways. That's pretty cool. Capricious Sliver. 3 and a, or Capricious, I don't know. Anyways, 3 and a red, 3/3. Sliver creatures you control have whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. So there's some impulse draw there. Lazatep Sliver, 3 and a black, 4/4. Sliver creatures you control have Afflict 2. Whenever, which means whenever a creature with Afflict 2 becomes blocked, defending player loses 2 life. And then whenever a non-token sliver you control dies, you amass slivers too, so you're going to get that big sliver army. That one's pretty cool. Titan of Littjara, 4 and 2 blue creature illusion. Interesting. 6/6. As it enters, choose a creature type. Titan of Littjara is the chosen type in addition to its other types. Whenever it enters or attacks, you may draw a card for each other creature you control that shares a creature type with it. Wow, that's pretty good. So you can enter it and basically just do a, whatever it's called. Yeah, my brain's not. We had it earlier. The one that got reprinted in Furby. You remember you were saying that?
Oh, Distant Melody.
Distant Melody. So you can play it basically as a Distant Melody because it says whenever it enters or attacks. And then every turn, if it sticks, you can attack with it. And then...
Draw.
Notably, it doesn't have... Oh, no, it does say. It says it is the chosen type in addition to its other type. So it does actually act as a sliver as well. Taunting Sliver, 3 and a blue. Sliver creatures you control have, when this creature enters the battlefield, goad target creature and opponent controls.
Okay.
Gotta love the goading.
Yep.
Regal Sliver. Notably, all of these slivers, if you bring them back with Encore, see each other. Because when things enter the battlefield at the same time... Well, actually, that might not be true. It might be in the order that you Encore them in. So you want to be careful about the order you choose to do that. Regal Sliver, 3 and a white. Sliver creatures you control have, when this creature enters the battlefield, slivers you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. If you're the monarch, otherwise you become the monarch. You know, most of these aren't legendary. Floodplain is the sack land in Azorius. Pillar of Origins. Enters, choose a creature type, add 1 mana of any color, spend this mana only to cast a... Oh, okay. It's like an arcane signet, but you choose a creature type. I didn't know that existed. That's actually not bad for a creature type deck that has a lot of colors.
Yeah.
Herald Torn is 3 mana. Choose a creature type. They cost 1 less. At the beginning, look at the top card. If it's that, you can reveal it, put it into your hand. Necrotic Sliver, 1 and Orzhov, 2/2. All slivers have pay 3, sack this permanent, destroy target permanent is awesome. That's super cool. I mean, costly because you have to pay 3, but still. Lava Belly Sliver is in Boros here. 1 and a Boros, 2/2. Sliver creature you control have. When this creature enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker, and you gain 1 life.
Okay.
Pretty neat. Like a miniature lightning helix, but with the with slivers. Hibernation Sliver is in Dimir, 2/2. All slivers have pay 2 life. Return this permanent to its owner's hand. So protection for your slivers there. You can pay 2 life and bounce them to your hand to keep them from going to graveyard. Although in this, you kind of want them to go to graveyard. But I guess if someone's playing a Wrath that's like exiles, you could bounce them to your hand. Harmonic Sliver is 1 and a Celestia, 1/1. All slivers have, when this permanent enters the battlefield, destroy target artifact or enchantment. That's awesome. That's
That is good.
disenchant on all of your slivers. That's pretty cool. Firewake Sliver, 1 and a Gruul, 1/1. All sliver creatures have haste, and all sliver creatures have pay 1, sack this permanent. Target sliver creature gets +2/+2 till end of turn, so you can buff them up. Crystalline Sliver, 1 and a... in Azorius, 2/2, all slivers have Shroud, so that's pretty cool. Can't be the target of spells or abilities. Notably, they can't be the target of yours either. A Venom Sliver, this one's tough. Look at this, 1 and a green, 1/1, sliver creatures you control have Death Touch. Because why not give them Death Touch, right? Then we have 3 visits. Search for a forest card, put onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Sure, help get your mana base going. Quick Sliver. 1 and a green flash. Any player may cast Sliver spells as though they had flash. I love how it lets any player do it. So there's like that really odd chance you happen to be playing somebody else with a Sliver deck. Very, very slim chance. And then like technically it benefits other people. But Nature's Lore, this lets you just go search for a forest card, put it onto the battlefield and shuffle. It really does a lot of the same stuff as the other cards. Might Sliver, 4 and a green, 2/2. All Sliver creatures you control get +2/+2. So you've noticed we have like different levels of Lord there. Mana Weft Sliver, 1 and a green. This one's good. Look at this. Sliver creatures you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color.
That is nice.
Any color too. Yeah, that one's good. Gem Hide Sliver is 1 and a green. All slivers have tap, add 1 mana of any color. So there's 2 copies of that essentially that you could pull. Here we got a Farseek again. Never gonna beat the rabbit version. Cultivate's a good card, but again, we have some really cool versions of it. But again, this is just ramp. It's here to help you get your colors, and you're gonna need it because the land base is rough. I can tell you this much: the land base is rough. All Sliver creatures have Menace. Sure, why not? Let's just tack Menace onto it, right? Striking Sliver. Oh, yeah, we haven't seen this one yet, huh? 1 red, 1/1. Sliver creatures you control have first strike, because let's give them first strike. Notably, if you have that one and double strike, they are kind of effectively rendering the first strike one useless. Hollow Head Sliver, 2 and a red, 2/2. Sliver creatures you control have tap, discard a card, draw a card, so you can cycle some cards. You can also put Slivers in the graveyard for their Encore ability there, which is really cool. Because notably, let's say you want to put like the Lord. Ooh. Let's say you put like the +3/+3 one in there. If you still have 3 opponents, you can Encore that back. You're going to get a copy for each opponent.
Oh,
so now it's going to be +9/+9. Yeah, exactly.
Well, because it comes back, and you get a copy for each opponent, right?
No, you just make 1 copy per each opponent.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I was understanding.
No, you're all good. No, it doesn't actually come back. You just make token copies of it. Okay. I don't think it ever actually comes back from the graveyard.
Got it.
I mean, we can read it real quick. Let's see. Oh, no, see, you have to exile it from the graveyard. So you actually can only do it once.
Okay.
Because once you exile it,
then it's kind of gone.
Then it's gone and you can't. That makes sense. So you can't just keep doing it over and over again. So you would want to make sure you're doing that on like a big play.
Yeah.
Cleaving Sliver, 3 and a red. Sliver creatures you control get +2/+0. Bone Splitter Sliver, 3 and a red. All Sliver creatures get +2/+0.
Woo!
Are they both 2/2s? Yeah. So these are just effectively the same. We saw that earlier with the tap for a mana abilities. Yeah. Blur Sliver, 2 and a red, 2/2. Sliver creatures you control have haste.
That's not bad.
Blade Sliver, 2 and a red. All Sliver creatures get +1/+0.
That's not bad.
Crypt Sliver, 1 and a black. Excuse me, 1/1. All slivers have tap. Regenerate target sliver, which is crazy. Regenerate's really good here too. Clot Sliver, 1 and a black, 1/1. All slivers have pay to regenerate this permanent, so now you can pay to regenerate them. Winged Sliver, 1 and a blue, 1/1. All sliver creatures have flying. And last but certainly not least,
Our alt.
which is not a sliver, mind you.
Oh, that's so stupid. It's like Planeswalker Party.
Rakarumel Biologist, Wooburg. Now, it does care about, so as it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Then it says, slivers you control and non-token creatures you control are the chosen type in addition to their other creature types. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. And then you can pay 3, tap it to create a 1/1 colorless sliver creature token. This seems bad.
Yep.
Like this says, it says, slivers you control and non-token creatures you control are the chosen type. So you can choose slivers and make non-slivers slivers. That's what you can do with this. Is effectively turn
no non-slivers.
Exactly. So like you build this deck out of non-slivers that you turn into slivers and then get all the Lord effects. And then slivers can be the other thing. So you can basically, this says, hey, do you have a tribal deck that's literally in any colors because it's Wooburg, and you wish it was Wooburg and you could run the slivers in it as well? Here, this is your tribal commander for any tribal deck. I think it's an interesting card, but if I actually build slivers, that's one of the cards that's coming out of it.
110%. All right, honey, you ready?
To do a shuffle, and then a pack, and then our rating.
And be all done.
And then we are done. We have 1 deck left after this. We went from all colors to no colors, right? The next one will be The Eldrazi.
0 colors.
Here we go.
Oh.
There it is.
Woo!
Nice and shuffled. There is a bent corner on one of them, but it's fine. All right, we're going to set it off to the side. We will come back in just a moment to rate it. But before that, we have a collector booster sample pack.
I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Yeah.
That was the wrong area to put CMM in.
All right, are you ready?
Ready.
You are.
Do it.
Our random token here, and ooh, okay, that's pretty cool. We got the Sliver themed Path of Ancestry. So the full art foiled Sliver themed Path of Ancestry.
Cool.
It is not worth a whole lot, but it is cool to pull the Sliver themed Path. It is foiled.
Cool.
Full art foiled Path of Ancestry. I don't know. I saw this the other day. I want to say it was like 30 cents.
$1.25.
Wait, really?
Yep.
Cool.
Foiled full art is $1.25.
That is the foiled full art, right?
Yep. Cool.
All right, and our other card. Will it be something decent? You ready? Oh, all right. We have a bunch of these, but we're never going to hate on it. It is a full art training center. So this is the Commander lands. In this case, this is it?
Yes.
Unfortunately,
full art?
Just full art. Just the full art, like that one where it's like blue and red on the other sides. These were, I'm going to say this is like 17.
It is $13.64.
13, actually. So we pulled one of the ones that's a little cheaper, but hey, $13.64. This can go in literally any Is It deck, because as long as you have 2 or more opponents, this comes in untapped. AKA, this is what you want. These are the type of lands you want to be putting in this deck.
Crazy.
Although to be fair, maybe you don't run these in 5 color just because you can't fetch them.
Ooh, facts.
But I don't know. It's still better than the ones that are just inner tapped. I don't know. I feel like I would still slot this into one of the spots. I'd take out some Is It theme thing and slot that in. But
boom, awesome! Look at that. It's like $15.
Yeah, we'll take it. We will take it.
Right,
I mean,
rating.
there are better cards. Okay, so me personally, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I have built Sidar Jabari, and in building Sidar Jabari, I have found in my heart there is a very strong place that enjoys tribal commanders.
Crazy.
And I gotta say, in reading those, Slivers seems kind of like the
It
ultimate
seems fun.
tribe, and it seems really fun.
Seems hard to play with the Wooburg.
I don't know if I love Sliver Grave Mother as the commander. Like I said, I know what the first Sliver does. Go ahead and pull up the first Sliver for me, because I don't remember what the card does, but I just know it exists. Huh?
Yes, sweetheart. Always sweetheart.
Oh, you're so sweet. Go ahead and pull up the first Sliver, and we will take a look on camera
The
here.
first Sliver.
Are you going to read it?
Wooburg.
Okay.
Legendary Sliver. 7/7. Cascade. When you cast a spell, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card that costs less.
And then Slivers you
cast
control.
it without paying its mana cost.
And then Slivers you control have Cascade,
Yep.
right?
Just everything has Cascade.
So I think that is probably the stronger commander for Slivers as a whole. And then you throw Sliver Grave Mother in there. You could also run the Sliver Overlord that gives all of them indestructible. I think that one's also arguably maybe better as the commander.
True.
But all of them in general, this seems really fun. This seems like a really good deck. Slivers seems like they are really enjoyable, and I am excited to potentially build that.
It does look fun.
I'm not going to lie. If I had to pick a Wooburg tribe, I'm going Dragons, okay?
Yeah, you are.
I'm going Ur-Dragon. But I do think that Slivers seems kind of like the next best tribe. If Dragons are get to the late game, play a couple big things and win, Slivers seems like play a bunch of early short things and then kill fast, right?
Kill
It's
everything
almost
else.
like Dragons are like the late game control tribe.
Yes.
Ish. Like it's like, okay. Dragons are the ramp into big things tribe.
Yes.
Slivers seem kind of like the go wide, everything benefits itself. Not really go wide, but like everything hive mind together tribe. And then the go wide, overwhelm your enemies is probably elves.
Most likely.
I think that's
what I would
probably the
say.
best tribe for go wide, overwhelm your opponent, right? Is probably elves. So I think this breaks into like 9 territory for me.
I would say mine's at about 8 or 9. It seems cool, but it does
Okay, see, I don't have the hesitancy for how hard it seems to play, so maybe I have to bump mine up into like the 9.5, 10. I'm hesitant to give it a 10 because I'm not like, cut the camera, we're playing this right now. But maybe it breaks 9.5. I was super excited to read all those slivers that just do it just does everything. I'm like, oh man, I want this deck to have a really good mana base, and I want to just destroy people. That's what I want to do. I want to play this with a really good mana base and just destroy people.
And just take everyone else out. Be honest.
That sounds like fun. But yeah, all right, we want to know what you guys would rate the deck below. So we promised you a question. Our question is, what rating would you give this from a 0 to 10? How excited are you for this? Have you seen it out in the wild? And if you played against it, how did it do? What did it do? Was it upgraded? Was it the straight Precon? We really want to know. So we don't have that experience. We don't always get to play in four-player pods. Although maybe we'll make that more of a habit to try to get out to a game store and play in a 4-player pod. We should do that more. And you know what? We can bring commander decks and say, hey, if you guys don't have Precon level decks, we have Precon level decks that we would love to let people play. But yeah, anyways, I give it about 9.5. You give it about an 8.5 to a 9.
8.5 to a 9.
Okay,
That's
so
interesting.
honestly, it's the highest rated Commander Masters one so far, and I think probably play wise it wouldn't get that because I think the land base does suck. I think the land base is horrible. And if I had to give it a rating, including the land base, it's probably getting like a 4 or something because I bet this deck just does nothing the way it's built right now. Because I'm seeing what people say when they say the land base is tough, but. That's where we're at. We would love for you guys to... Huh? Oh, the land base.
Looks like
yeah.
shit.
We would love for you guys to let us know what you think down below. If you haven't joined the Royal Circle family by hitting that subscribe button, you should.
Do it.
Because we're awesome, and you guys are awesome for joining us. We have 205 of you guys at the time of recording that have joined the Royal Circle family, and that is just such an honor. We love and appreciate each and every one of you. And if you haven't joined us, we would love to have you. We're just a couple of nerds sharing our hobbies, and we'd love to share them with you too, and to hear you share yours. That's the wonderful thing about this and YouTube and Twitch and all those great things. So thank you guys for being so awesome. That's all we've got for you in this one. Check out our other content and anything else that comes out after this. But yeah, we'll see you guys whenever comes next. Until then, may those rolls be ever in your favor, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye, y'all.